Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you guys?
Woo, I'm doing good.
Great.
I'm just getting a hot flash right now. Excuse me.
You know what? I'm laughing so hard because, like, speaking of that, as I'm looking at the intro, I'm looking at my hair, and I thought I need to invest in a flat iron. Like, what happened to that hairstyle?
I
Listen, between
know.
the hot flashes and the flat iron, I don't know.
Oh my
Woo.
goodness. Let me raise this volume a little bit. How's
hilarious.
everybody doing today?
Doing great. Doing really, really good. I think nothing changes, right? It's really up to us. And when we wake up, how we're gonna, what we're gonna do in our day. It's so important to believe in yourself. I think first and foremost, because I've talked to a lot of agents, and just with everything going on, there's a lot of fear. There's just a lot of things that they're afraid of, so they're not doing certain things. But right now is actually the time where you actually have to do more, bring value, show up. And I think that's something that is important for us, to talk to our agents about, just about kind of the changes in the market. And it's nothing new to those who have been around, because we're used to change. It's something that we're kind of became accustomed to, I want to say. And for me, I love challenges. I love change. I think that it's how you embrace it. And, just how what you do with it. We're all going to be faced with challenges. So I think it's how you react to those things, which is going to either, determine your success. So, and align yourself with the right people, align yourself with, the agents maybe that you need accountability with, or maybe, contacting one of us to sit and have a one-on-one with. Don't be afraid or don't be ashamed, because it's not going to fix itself. You have to definitely make the changes yourself. So
I think that alignment.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, like, the alignment, with the crew that you're with and the people that you're with. What came to me is we recently had our four, as you know, and we acknowledged top producing agents over there. And the thing about that is so ironic, because it's really not even about awards, right? It's not about the numbers or the awards. It's about the person that you have to become in order to be able to get up on that stage. Like, who do you have to become in order to produce those types of results? It's amazing to really take a look at. And everybody that's up there, that's, exactly what I think. So the crew matters, like you mentioned, Sonia, staying around people with a positive mindset, staying around people that are in motion. We did hit, and if you guys paid attention to the Remax stats that came out, we are the only Remax in the area that hit over the $1 billion in sales.
wow.
So we are part of that billionaires club, and the only one in, all of this area, basically, like SoCal, I believe, because the list is up, and I was so proud of all of our champions that they, accomplished that. And so it is very important in this market to stay around people that know the market, they're strong in it. They've we've gone through several markets, we know several markets, and we're able to navigate it. I'm surprised at the amount of people that are out there, even people that I know, that are all over social media, and it's like doom and gloom. They're talking about this change that we're going through, and I feel it's almost just to get, social media attention for themselves, because there's no, solutions or positive talk regarding the matter, and there should be. So, I love that intro, and you're right. Right now, it's time to stay around people that know what they're doing and that can navigate this market.
I was going to say, we've gone through so many things in the last, 3 to 4 years. If you succumb, if COVID didn't defeat you and you push through COVID, look, you're doing great. And do you think that we're going to be defeated by this little thing that just happened? Absolutely not. Our contracts are so strict and so by far so strict. At the end of the day, it's going to be you to educate your clients on doing what you're doing, but this will not defeat us. The strong will stay strong, and we will continue moving forward. So I think that's what everybody has to remember. We are strong enough to go through anything. We went through COVID. We went through the highs and lows of the market. We know what we have to do to move forward. And I think it's important to always remember that. And yeah, and I agree. Be around people that are going to be supporting and uplifting you. If the ones are going to be the naysayers and the like the Debbie Downers, you know what? No, this is not the time for that. It's not. Start getting audibles. Listen, I'll take it a step further. Anthony Grinchall. He does his little voice memos. Do a voice memo for yourself every morning. And I don't care if you have to say to yourself, I am beautiful. I know that I am the you know what, and I am badass and I'll kick ass. Say it and remind yourself every day, because that's the type of market and that's the type of person you should be. You now are not defeated. You are a champion.
Yeah. I was going back to COVID, like she was saying, it just brought something up for me. Like when that happened, I think a lot of people, especially homeowners, buyers, and agents, just everybody in general, was scared. They were afraid. They didn't know, it's the unknown, what's going to happen. And everybody thought the market was going to crash. We had several people in escrow and they were like, do we still close? Like they were just, everybody was just like put at a halt and scared. And look at what ended up happening. Obviously rates got great, prices got, kept, continuing to go up. And those who bought, during the 2020, when they were scared and thought they were going to back out, are so happy that they did, because then that's when the bidding wars came and just all those things, happened. So it just goes to show you that you don't know. But it's how you adapt. And I think as a company, we adapted very well. We said, okay, we can't be in the office. What can we do? How can we still do business? And we actually had a phenomenal year that year. And that was because of the fact that a lot of people got scared, went home, locked their doors, and didn't want to do anything else. So I feel like that's what's going to happen now, because I think a lot of agents, unfortunately, are going to be weeded out of the business. They don't know how to negotiate. They don't know how to show their value to a buyer. And that's why they're afraid, because right now you have to show your value to a buyer to get a buyer broker agreement signed. If you don't have any value, how are you going to ask them to pay you something? So you really have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Practice. Like Liz said, whether you're in the mirror practicing every morning, learning your presentation, but your value is not in searching for a home. There's no value there. You have to show where your value is. And, we're not here to open doors. Although that's part of our job, that's not where the value is, because anybody can open door. You saw Open Door. You didn't even have to have a license. They would let you in. So learn that. And I think as a company, we'll come together to, to have some of those trainings to show you, maybe some role playing, but you can Google buyer's presentation just to get an idea. You go on YouTube, see how buyer's presentations are done, but get familiar with it and learn what your value is and what you're going to bring. Because like I said, if you don't do that, unfortunately, we're going to see a lot of people drop off because they're just not comfortable with doing that and with asking, for a buyer to agree to sign and to work with them.
Yeah, we have to master our craft, and we have to now master it now even more so than ever. Before we would always talk about, let's get listings, let's master the listing presentation, the art of a listing presentation, always have it prepared. Sonia's mentioned it before. She has tools, she works with them, as we should all be having our tools and have our trade. But now guess what? Not only are we're going to be working on listings, we also be working on our buyers presentations, master that craft and that skill so that we know what's going on in the market. Like Sonia said, Open Door came out with a great concept. You just ask for the code, you open the door. But that's not our thing. We're not Uber drivers as realtors, and we're not open door people. We're not concierge services to open just a door. No, we're more than that. We have skills in negotiation, know about the market, know what's going on in the market, the ups and downs, the school districts. There's so much on this platform of being a realtor that is what's going to separate us from the ones that are being dropped off the side of a cliff, because they're not going to be able to adjust and adapt to now this new concept of, guess what, we have a buyer's representation agreement that needs to be signed. This is my value. This is what I bring to the table. So now we have to master that art that we should already know about. We just now got to fine tune it a little bit more.
Well, I think that people become a little bit fearful about asking for certain things when they don't see the value in themselves. And so if you're not seeing the value in yourself, then how are you going to present that to somebody else so that they can compensate you for that value? And we keep kind of going back to the same thing, which I think that, that's for everybody in this marketplace right now, to take a look at how in the world are you going to add value to yourself so that you can add value to your clients and to everybody else in your life. So it's through that education, through improving our skills, through learning, how to communicate more effectively. And I feel that this is, once again, I don't feel that people that are professional and that know their trade, they're not going to even notice any changes throughout this whole thing. It's the communicators that are going to thrive through this. So it's just plugging into that value and adding value to, and you can get information from anywhere. It's not just the classes that we offer at Champions, which I feel that we offer the best of the best, as far as classes. However, if you want to find something out or learn something, there's no lack of resources out there. And I keep saying that over and over because even, Google is out there. Google it. It's like right at our fingertips whenever we want to learn things. So just get very versed in our trade right now so that we feel it. We're like, you know what? I am worth that fee because I'm going to bring value to my clients, and I'm going to make sure that their interest is served in an appropriate manner. And so, that's where it's all headed. That's where it should have been, but it's headed there, even more so. So it's a season of developing ourselves.
Yeah.
Like brand, I was going on Instagram and I forgot who it was Jared James said it. You guys can follow him on Instagram. I do. He was there at R4. Brand presence and your social media presence is extremely important right now. It's been important, but not a lot of people took it no one took it into consideration. So that means your Google business page, reviews, that means your social media presence. So for those of you that haven't wanted to go out into that level of exposing yourself out there, guess what? This is going to be this is a big thing, because clients already, your customers, they can find their own home, but now they want, and they can obviously go through the MLS and say, I want to see this home right now. But how are they going to determine whether they want to see it with you as opposed to somebody else? They're going to also Google you. They're also going to research you. And that's what they've been doing all along. But like Jennifer said, it's taken now all of this to get now things moving and going. So important aspect, besides the training, which is it's fundamental for everything, social media presence and building your business profile and exposing yourself out there, it has to be well known so that they know who they can trust and go and choose from, instead of choosing someone that's just, like Sonia said, just open a door. We don't want that. It's us that they should be coming to.
I noticed you guys going live more on Instagram, both of you guys. And, I think that that's amazing. Now that you're talking about social media, something that actually I haven't done. I haven't gone live on Instagram, but do you feel that the feedback that you get from that is good? Meaning, I bet people like to see the real. Am I right? Like, people enjoy seeing, what are you doing throughout the day? And this is something that agents can do, right? Just go live and show what it is you're doing out there. Talk about what you're doing. How are you servicing clients? What do what properties are you looking at? And it seems so real and simple. It's just, we don't really want to show ourselves in that manner. I think a lot of people get shy about it. And you're right. It's a great platform to show yourself and show your talents.
Yeah. I think, obviously it's free, you might as well take advantage of it. But a lot of times I don't know that the agents don't want to show. I think a lot of times it's a lot of work because, you're trying to, if let's say you're with clients, like you don't want to make them feel uncomfortable either if, you're recording or whatever. So it's so funny because I have an agent that's a new agent, and every time she goes with me, she's recording, and she like gets the phone and she's like recording like this right in front of them. And so I told her when we left, I appreciate you doing that because I love the content, but you need to ask them because they're like looking like, why am I being recorded right now? And I love that. I love that she wants to capture it. She says, I want to capture it for me so I can take it back and replay it, hear how you spoke to them and hear those things. But like I said, it's I think sometimes it's just, making them feel uncomfortable. And so just, getting the okay that, we're going to be being recorded. Are you okay with that? Or we're going to be live. And, like I said, some people are camera shy, so don't really like that. But I try to go live. I would love to go a lot more, but it's hard, because it's as much as you think like what I've been told is go live when someone asks you a question. Because if one person's asking that, then that means there's more people not asking that question. So if someone asks me a question about buying or whatever, then I try to write it down. And then when I have a free time, then because I try to take advantage. So like StreamYard, how we're on StreamYard here, I think it's $25 a month, to subscribe to this, unless it's went up. I don't know. But when I first subscribed, it was $25. But you can actually go live on multiple platforms. So when I go live, I try to go live on StreamYard. So that way I can go live on my Facebook, on my YouTube, and on my Instagram. So I'm trying to kill 3 birds with 1 stone. So that way, you're seen in, because people look at different platforms. So, but I do notice that Facebook is where the actual business and leads come from. Instagram is just more to keep your name out there, to keep you, relevant, I guess you could say. But people that are serious about buying are on Facebook. And the reason why is because that's your older, generation. They're the ones with the money. They're the ones that have, the houses or, their parents are up in age. Like, so that's where it's at. It's not that the younger generation doesn't necessarily have the means they want to, but I think Instagram is just more for, I have more realtor followers than buyers, and it's more for, like I said, entertainment purposes. It's more maybe to get referrals from other agents from out of area, stuff like that. But like I said, where the business actually is on Facebook.
That's so interesting, right? That I would have thought that it's the opposite, but I know that you're so good with social media, Sonia. I see you out there.
I just think I'm okay. Like I'm just average, because I've recently, been around others that really, they're just so creative. They take full filming crews and camera crews, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm not there. Like I'm nowhere near that. But it doesn't matter. Just don't compare yourself to anybody else. Just do you, show who you are. I'm not these people. I'm not that person. Although I love their content and everything else, it's not something I'm going to do because I want to attract who wants to work with me. So providing value, talking about what I want to do. I recently switched all of my marketing to sellers. I used to say I work with buyers. I do this. And just talking to a lot of different people that I know into the social media tell me, when they reviewed my platform and everything, they're like, Sonia, talk to who you want to work with. Stop talking to everybody. So that's kind of been what I've done. I've changed everything now. My post talks to sellers. I'm just talking to sellers. I want to work with sellers. I love working with buyers too, but buyers come with sellers. So I just, that's where my focus is. So that's why I think you have to really, really, get on whatever it is. I'm SRES certified, so I'm really putting that out there too. And like I said, when you start doing certain things in your mind, you realize like the universe answers it, like it really does. And so while I was out, I got a call from on Euclid, a local, what are those called? Those where the elderly go to live. I can't even think of it right now.
Convalescent, like
it's kind of like a living space or whatever, like where they could go live. And
living.
they were like, "Oh, I found you. You're a local realtor. That's SRES, certified. We'd love for you to come in. We have people that bring in their parents that need to sell their homes. So, so those are things like when you work with certain niches and you're really gearing towards it. I really see the value in that. So I think right now a lot of agents should do that, should really say, what is it that I want to do? Do I want to work with first-time home buyers? Do I want to work with, sellers that are moving out of state? What is it you want to do? And just really educate yourself on it and just become that go-to person. Like I said, most of my sellers right now that I have they've passed away. So their siblings are now selling their home, or they're getting sick. They're elderly. They're making, they're in that stage where they have to, either sell their home or figure something out. So I've noticed that because I've been really, really like marketing stuff like that, and not even so much to these people. I have a farm that I market to, that's 55 and over, that's living in 2 stories, blah, blah, blah. But I'm telling you, what you put out in the universe, it's crazy, because your business might not necessarily come from that marketing piece, but because that's what you're focusing on, those are the calls that you're getting. And that's what I'm seeing. So I really think that the agents should really, really, instead of, I'll just take anything and I'm just advertising all over the place, but you have no target. You're just shooting, and you're never going to hit a target. So I really feel that right now would be a great time to really figure out what it is that you enjoy doing. Who do you enjoy working with? And, so that way, when you get out of bed in the morning, you're excited. I read this saying that said, even though you drive a Mercedes, if you pull up to your work or your place of work and you're not happy, you're not successful.
That's right.
And I was like, wow, that's a big deal, because people think, I drive a nice car, so I'm successful. But if you hate what you're doing every day, you truly aren't. So get up doing what you love.
I love that. And I think that a lot of the directional talk that you mentioned, saying find a niche, I think that at first, when certain agents maybe start out, they just say, well, I'm going to take whatever client comes my way. I'm going to do whatever comes my way. And in doing that, you spread yourself out. You really do. And I can see the value in being directional, but at the same time, there's going to be a period of time where that's going to take sacrifice. It's going to take some sacrifice by saying, no, I'm not going to be distracted with everything that comes my way. And I'm going to continue to focus on this until there's a breakthrough. And I think a lot of people in our society, especially, we want immediate gratification, and we're not willing to work through those cycles where maybe it's a dry period, or maybe we're not getting the results that we want immediately. But we're working towards developing that niche, and then at that point you become, that professional, and that you're very well versed in that area, and you're going to get the clientele that you want to work with. So I do love that, and I think that this market, it's the time for that. I always, like I say, I think it's the time for everything, relating to professionalism and being directional, but more than ever now, we're going to have to definitely focus on certain type of businesses and clientele.
Right.
Absolutely.
I think when it comes to being directional, we also have to be present. So
Yes.
we can't be at, like, okay, I'm sorry, I don't know who I'm going to be talking to when I say this. You can't be at home under the covers and say, I will do something today. No, I hope that you're doing something today. Like, you remember, and Sonia said this numerous times, so has Jennifer, so have myself. We have to treat our business as a business. If you're a business owner, do you think you can handle your business from under your sheets? No. You have to, or maybe
Well,
you
depends on
can.
the
No,
business.
if you own a mattress company, okay, great. Like serve a mattress, whatever. But we're in the real estate business. So what does that entail? We have to be present. So education is one thing. Social media is another thing. Be directional. Find out what find out what your niche is. At the same time, exposure. Not exposing yourself. No, exposure about what is it that you know about your business. So like if you're gonna hit seniors, okay, go to assisted living facilities, talk to them, be in front of them, do something in their community. If you're going to be dealing with sellers like Sonia's doing, she's rebranding and remarketing herself, targeting sellers specifically. If you're going to be doing buyers, same thing. At the same time, social media, again, the platform, it's free, but the platform, you need to utilize it to your advantage. And I've been going on live and doing reels and doing whatever on Instagram. Well, not doing whatever, but I usually do my little rants because sometimes people need to hear what we have to go through in the business, especially if it's with another realtor. I won't mention names ever, but it'll probably be a situation. But guess what? People find it entertaining because then I get messages from buyers. Wow, that's what happened. Or I get a message from a seller. Hey, you know what? I saw your video and now I'm interested in you looking at my home. And the funny part about this, going back to R4, I was Sandra. She's our processor at Champions Mortgage. It was her first time attending. So I told her, it's funny. I'm running into people at R4 that I don't even know, but for some odd reason, they know me. And they're like, I saw your video. It was so funny. I can't believe you said all of that. And I'm like, you know what? Because that's just the way that I am. So be directional. Obviously, have an intention in your business. Follow through with it. Be motivated about it because you can't let your business fall. If your business fails, it's not that your business failed you, is that you failed your business because you weren't 100% committed. So commitment is everything. Every morning you need to be committed to yourself, your life, your business, your family, and you have to be intentional that at the end of the day, your goal, you've either made your goal happen or you're getting somewhere to get towards your goal. But there has to be some intention behind it. So everybody out there, get out from under your covers, take a shower, and get to work.
Because and
this
I
is
just
a great
think
year.
It's in our industry. I think that you touched on a lot of things, Elizabeth, because in our industry is full of distractions. And I feel more so than a lot of other industries. You don't see, doctors or lawyers having constant distractions in their business. We have to treat our business in a very directional manner. And it's so easy because we're dealing with clients, buyers and sellers. And then you have all of the other agents that are out there, everything else that is happening in the industry. You have people, lots of people that were around that are surrounding us. So with possibility of being distracted consistently. And so I really feel a huge part of success in this industry is ignoring and avoiding a lot of the distractions. Let's face it, all of us, and mind you, I was one of them for a period of time where if there was an event, I was there. I mean, if there was something going on, I was there. Yet, and it's great to network and to do those things on occasion, but a lot of it is like it's a distraction because we're not meeting buyers and sellers there. We're not meeting clients. We're not servicing their needs at the time. And so it's so easy in this industry to just, get distracted. So ask yourself every day, like, if you're pulled into a situation where, is it necessary? Is it pushing my business forward? Is it for the better and highest good of everybody involved? Is it something that I really need to be involved in? Is it something that is going to generate me and my business money? And if the answer to all of those is no, then you need to remove yourself from it. So I just feel that we are in an industry that's full of distractions, and a huge part of success in any business is being completely and directionally focused. What you focus on grows, period. If you get up every day and you focus on something and you're tracking it, it grows. If you're looking at it daily and saying, I want, to get to this point, it's going to grow and you're going to get there. But if you get up every day and you're full of distractions, you're never going to accomplish your goals. So I just wanted to piggyback off of that, because we are literally in an industry that is full of distractions, and it's so easy to get up every day and to be consumed by distraction and to not get anything done for that entire day.
Yeah.
I learned a phrase like years ago, and it's funny. I had a titiri moment, okay? And and I had dark hair at the time, so you'll understand what I mean by this. This phrase was, if it doesn't make money, it doesn't make sense. I was like, huh? And then I was like, oh, you know
or
what?
Growth. Money or growth, something positive.
Doesn't make sense. And I'm like, you know what? I like that saying. I'm pretty sure that saying has been around for a long time, but I just had never heard it. And I've taken that phrase, and I just always keep it in the back of my head, because it's true. I used to be that person. I would be at network events, and I'm like thinking to myself, wait a minute, why am I at all these events? Yeah, it's great to be in front of a picture or whatever, but how is that helping me? It doesn't help me. I'm just wasting my time where I could have spent it with my dog, or at a client's home, or getting rest for the following day to start my business again, So like, I guess keep in mind what you do with the distractions, limit them. And yeah, we go back to, I guess, time block to make sure that it's going according to your business model, because we all have one.
If everybody has access to you, believe me, you'll never get anything done. You have to be very directional with your access and what you give your time and attention to, period. And that goes, I think, for any aspect of this business.
Yeah.
We have to be very, very directional.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very true.
I'm having fun, you guys. It's been a while.
I know. And, I know, like, we have all of these things that are happening in the company. The awards, we're doing our office awards in June. And that's going to be an amazing event where we're going to acknowledge everybody that received an award. We have, I want to say, a good 75, 80 champions that received awards. Not everybody went to Vegas. And so we're going to acknowledge everybody here. And I always say that it is my favorite time of year, right, to go to Vegas and see agents on stage. Well, the awards is my favorite time, because I know, like I said before, the person that it takes, the person that you have to become in order to receive an award like that. So when I see Sonia on stage, when I see Elizabeth on stage, or anybody on stage, it's not about being on that stage. I know already the sacrifice and the dedication that it took for somebody to get there, and the person that you had to become in order to do that, how directional, how focused, hardworking, servicing, like there's so much involved with that. So save the date. There it is. Justin so kindly put it up, the 21st. It's going to be amazing. We're going to acknowledge everybody that received an award this year. So look forward to that. And before I have a couple questions for both of you, but I feel like all of us are very focused on also our health and nutrition for several reasons. And I feel like it's something that is part of business, but none of us really ever talk about. We're always talking about production or tools or systems or things that we need to do in our business. And I feel like, we've all hit a crossroads for one reason or another. We've become very focused on our health, which we should always have been. Everybody should always be focused on their health, but it's just things that, we don't talk about. And I think that for those of you out there that maybe haven't focused on that so much, don't wait until you have to, because they always say that you will have to deal with your health in one way or another, whether you're forced to, or, whether you wait until you're forced to, or whether you do it now. And it's a huge part of production and of achieving anything. I know with 100% certainty that I have achieved the most in my business on the years that I feel super healthy and good in my body. And getting up, feeling healthy, feeling strong, taking care of yourself, eating the right things. It's so under talked about and under, I think just we're not aware of it, but it's very necessary to thrive in any business. So, take care of yourself, you guys. Make sure that you're taking care of yourselves in the way that you need to. So important.
Yes.
In any business, but especially with us, we deal with so many people every day.
Yes.
The mental, the emotional, the physicality of this business, it can take a toll. And before it brings you down, you might want to take over you got to take over your health, take over your life. So super important, you guys. I learned it best. Jennifer reminded me one time, if you don't have health, you have nothing. And I'm like,
Nothing.
oh, I'm like, yeah, right. Yeah, whatever. And then something happened. I forgot what happened. I'm like, dang it. She was right about this. Darn it. And so, yeah,
Nothing.
you gotta take it over. You got to really put focus into that, because life is short. You can be here today, gone tomorrow, but what good was it if you didn't take good care of yourself?
Mm-hmm. Well, if you don't have health,
Yeah.
like Sonia, you said it best. So you could have, and the reason is because money, like we talk about as well, money, it doesn't bring happiness. It just, accents everything that we already are. I know I'd rather have it than not have it. That's for sure. It's not fun when you can't pay your bills and when you struggle for money. But at the end of the day, it doesn't bring the happiness. So that's internal work that comes from the inside. Without that, you have nothing. So if you're not doing the things that you love every day, and if you're not living a life with intention to focus on what it is that you love and what matters to you, you could have all the money in the world and still be miserable. So it's a matter of finding out what is the type of life that you want, and then build your daily habits on creating that type of life. So it is so true. And that's a great analogy. You could drive whatever and be just as happy because it'll take you from point A to point B,
Yeah. Yeah, very true.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you, get a wiener dog. No, just kidding.
So for those of you that need complete and utter happiness, you see that wiener dog? Don't bring up my Riley, because we're going to be here for 2 hours, okay? Like, she's the cutest dog in the world. Yeah. Don't be bringing her up, but I do have wiener dog attire. What is one thing, you guys, because you guys are just out there and doing amazing. If you had to pick one suggestion to give the agents on one thing that they need to do to really make this the most powerful year for themselves, what would that one suggestion be?
How long do we have?
Who wants to go first?
I could go first. I think
working your database?
Well, I think more than anything, I mean, yes, your work, like you mentioned, I think the biggest thing that they should do right now is work on themselves. Because if you work on yourself, and that's a lot of things change when you work on yourself. So I think working on yourself, getting to know who you are. And, I was reading something where someone said, if you can't be alone by yourself, then you don't like yourself. And that's something where I was like, oh my God, that's weird, because I've obviously been by myself these past weeks, and I enjoyed it, so
Like, I love
I
weed.
love you. So I actually, I got so much out of it, because like you were mentioning, you spread yourself in so many different ways. Here it was just you and you, me, myself, and I, as I say, so I definitely think that that's been, that's allowed me to focus on really what it is that I want, out of, like you said, out of your business, out of your marriage, out of your relationships, out of everything. And once you have that perspective, because we can keep going every day and work on our database, but if we have unhealthy relationships, or if we have unhealthy eating habits, or just everything else is in shambles, it's not going to align. And I think that that's something that I think working, like I said, working on yourself. And it doesn't mean, you have to go away on a retreat or anything like that. It's just knowing, journaling, knowing who you are and what you want. And I think a lot of things, you get clarity, and a lot of things actually open up for you, because now you're clear on what it is that you want. You're clear on what direction to go in. A lot of things start happening around you, and you're like, wow, okay, this is, I'm asking, like, what do I want? What do I want? And then, like, universe answers you, so I think doing that first and foremost, and then after that, once you, or maybe you are clear, maybe you do know. So if you're that person, like you said, working on your systems, working on your database, work smart, not harder, work smarter. And especially right now, showing up for your people, your community, your, people who need you. It's not necessarily about making that dollar, and that's, if you come off like that, people know, that you're just about the money, and, you have to show up for them. It's important. Like I try to show my database and my past clients that it's not because, I'm making a dollar off you that you can't call me, call me anyways, so, and I love that they do call, and it's like, hey, how's it going? How's this and how's that? And it's just knowing you still have that connection, and, you're obviously, you are a positive influence, in their life, and you continue to be. So I just think, like I said, working on yourself, and then working on your business, and whatever that looks like for you. If you don't have a database, what are you waiting for? It's, you're losing so many opportunities every day by not having that. So as we've all said, build your business as a business, work as a business. And like Liz said, you can't lay in bed all day. If you owned a coffee shop, can you do your business, from your bed? No, you have to get up, you have to open those doors, you have to be there. You have to make sure you have the coffee grinds, the cups, the whatever. It's the same thing in real estate. Just because we're not selling tangible things, you have to show up for yourself more than anything. Showing up, you're ready to go, you have your tools ready, knowing the market, what you're doing as a business owner is, providing value. So researching, knowing what's happening. So it just invest a little bit more than what you're used to, and you'll see a big difference. So that's what I think. I really think just spending the time on you more than anything. It's you. No one's coming to save you. You have to save yourself.
Mm-hmm. Very good. I love that.
I think for me, I know Jennifer is going to be like, oh my God. I think for me, and hear me out, because I'll have an explanation. The I know it all attitude. I know it all. I don't need to go there. I know it all. I don't need to attend that class. I know it all. I'm not a, what is that? I'm a seasoned realtor, and I'm not a, a first time. I haven't been in business in 2 months. I think that goes down to more of the pride and the ego thing. Humble yourself, because it will take you far. So regardless if you've been in the business 30 years or you've been in the business 2 months, if we take away and strip that away from us, you'd be surprised the opportunity and the purpose that you have in your business for it to come to you, and you manifest that. It'll come to you. It's just, I think the humbling part is what a lot of even people in general, not just in our business, just in general, have a struggle with. And I think if you're able to strip that layer of pride and ego and just humble yourself and know that you have a purpose, and that the purpose is of educating yourself and continuing reading knowledge, talking to people, talking to our broker, talking to the partners, talking to the staff in the office, talking to title reps, getting yourself more involved, I think is going to help a whole lot, because then you're present within the business and you're not forgetting, oh my gosh, how do I fill out this car form? Because it's been 10 months that I haven't closed a deal and I don't know what to do. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that there was an update on the RPA because I haven't closed a deal since last year. Well, if you were more present, instead of saying, oh, well, I already know how to do that, then it would be a lot different. So for me, I think it's more of just stripping away from that and just being being there. So the word for me is being present, but being there because you want your business to grow and expand and you want to flourish. So for anyone that's hearing me, I don't care if you've been in the business 30 years or you've been in the business 2 months. I'd love to see you at the classes. I'd love to be seeing you around. I would love to brainstorm with you. That whole a concept of, I already know what to do, I already know how to do it, but yet you're not doing it, is not going to get anywhere. So put your money where your mouth is. If you know what you're doing, then get it done. But if you need help, come, but just be present with us. There you go.
I think that's very, very true. And I know that you ladies didn't ask me but I'm going to give you guys my opinion. I'm going to give you guys my opinion. So I think that the champions community is filled with very talented individuals. We have such a power-packed team that it's such a blessing to watch. It's such a phenomenal thing to watch when I see like these results coming in. And what does that mean for all of us? That means that we have a lot of opportunity to network with a lot of people that are doing amazing things in the real estate industry. So if you are, let's say, because, here's another thing, we all have different goals and we all have different wants. There may be some people that they want to sell 50 or 100 transactions a year. Then there's others, they may not want to do that. They may only want to do 15 or 10, but they're doing other things like flipping or real estate investing or buying and flipping, buying and holding. There's so many things that we can do in the real estate industry to be creative in our business. So if I was, or what I do actually, I was going to say, if I was an agent out there selling real estate, but this goes for anybody. I think that you should find and take a look at somebody that is doing the things that you want or accomplishing, the things that you want to accomplish, and talk to them. People are always willing to share. So when you're there, when you're living in that place of abundance and you're doing things, you're always willing to share. So you already know people that are in that space, they're wanting to share what it is that they're doing. So don't be afraid of approaching people and talking to them. It is the biggest shortcut to achieving anything, is to listen to somebody that's already been there and that's already paved the way. And too many of us say, well, you know what, we can do it better, or we don't want to ask. And we're doing ourselves an injustice by doing that, because people do want to share it. It's a very, very easy way to cut time off of what you want to achieve in your business. Find somebody that's already achieved those results and communicate, talk to them, and network with them. I do that, even in the real estate industry. We have friends, other brokers, and I love to network with other brokers and other people in the industry, because we can share ideas to get each other maybe a little bit, ahead, or to save some pain with hitting roadblocks on certain things. So reach out to the community, you guys. You have an amazing, amazing group of people. And, it's not going to be obviously just myself and Elizabeth and Sonia that can answer questions. I mean, there's so much talent within the community. Reach out and talk to people, and you'll find their talents and, network with them to be able to get more ideas for your business. That's my suggestion. It's worked so well for me and my business. We're out of time, you guys. What in the world? What happened?
Yeah, it went really, really fast. But I thought we were say one thing really quick, just because it's on my mind in regards to getting back really fast to the whole buyers, the whole thing. Yes. I know we're going to get back into that. We'll be talking about maybe doing some more classes. Maybe Liz and I, can do like role playing or something like that. But I can say that I was reading on CAR that 87% of agents don't have buyer presentations and don't do them. So that's a high number. So that shows you, and that's why they're thinking that a lot of these agents aren't going to be comfortable and they're going to end up being a statistic, where they're out of, the business. So we don't want any of that percentage to be a champion. We want you to have the tools that you need to succeed. So I think that's something that I just want, because I know a lot of people are asking about that. We're getting closer and closer and closer to July and what's going to happen. And I know you guys are waiting for us to, to bring something to you. So I we'll talk more, but maybe in May we can do a few of those classes so that way it'll help you. And like Liz said, show up. Even if you have a buyer's presentation, even if you take one thing away from it, if you learn one thing, it can change the way you do business. It can change something. So I just, wanted to share that before, we were out of time.
I think that's an excellent idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need to go over.
That should be higher.
What is it?
Don't be a statistic.
No, and you know what? We need to go over the buyer presentations for sure. That would be good if we could put something together for that. And then we're also going to bring Rod Feldman back in. So when these changes get closer to taking place, I think they're going to be pushed out from July is what they're saying. But when they start getting a little bit closer, we'll bring Rod Feldman back in so that he can go over the changes that are needed to navigate this, and then in the meantime, I know that this is the big pressing thing, like you said, Sonia, and that, we're having to navigate through this, but the main thing is to stay focused and to stay on personal development and gaining knowledge and showing your value as a realtor to your clients. I think that's going to be very imperative in future business, but we definitely will focus on this. We'll bring those tools in so that, you guys can be better prepared for this change. So, and remember, with change is opportunity. And I feel that this is actually a really good opportunity for everybody.
Yeah. And if anyone has any suggestions, we can't read minds, we need your feedback. We need to hear from you. We need to know what it is that you feel is going to help you. So please, let us know.
So
absolutely.
Facebook, where can we find buyers or sellers presentation? Well, it's funny. Momentum starts next month and I'll be doing that. So come to Momentum, come to the class. I'd like to know who this Facebook user is. Come, you'll enjoy
Momentum. That will happen right after Felix is done delivering his amazing sessions on Monday. We're going to dive into Momentum. So that's good. I think that we are out of time, you guys. This was amazing. I love talking to everybody and talking to you guys, and we'll keep on top of all of it. But absolutely, like Sonia said, we're not mind readers, and we do need to know there's so many things and so many avenues and items that we could go over. So please share. Don't be shy. Let us know what it is that you need to learn and what you want us to bring into the Champions organization so that we can deliver that to you guys. With that said, have an amazing day, champions. Thanks, Sonia.